everybody. Welcome back to MonkieCast. I'm your host, AJ.
I am Mesa.
I'm Tenebrae Invictus.
I'm Sakota.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello there.
Hello.
We're back.
Thank you for
Hello.
welcoming us.
Is the long slumber over?
Yes,
Is it added in?
it's over. Can talk about it now.
I mean, we could have just learned a whole other language,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like a smart person.
Yeah.
We should have done the podcast in Chinese.
I'm not even going to attempt to say anything.
I would just embarrass myself and/or be unintentionally racist.
Deary me. How are you?
Me do not have language proficiency. I'm doing good.
Me bad English.
me bad. I will stick to my American with my fireworks and hamburgers.
Oh, dear. Deary me.
But I'm glad. I'm glad to be here. How are you guys doing?
No, nobody wants to step up and say anything. That's cool. That's cool. Doing fairly good. I mean, it's MonkieCast, so not the TTV podcast, so not really going to get into my life, but it's good.
But I want to hear everything.
No.
Relate
Go
to
in
Monkey.
extensive
No.
detail about it. Every single.
I
key
spent
point.
last night watching and catching up on Monkey Kid. I still hadn't watched the last 2 episodes of season 2 this whole time, even after having a discussion episode. And so I caught up on that, which I think made a pretty good transition into season 3. So yeah, I spent an hour or probably a little more than that last night catching up on that.
I'm Sakota. I'm sure you're very, very well rested, very energized.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't just get up like 15 minutes ago. And will not sleep right after this to go to work.
Oh.
That's so epic. I forget how we do this. AJ, you're gonna give recaps, or you're just gonna go into it?
Well, I usually give really brief recaps of what happened in the episode, and then we talk about it.
That's epic. But we'll tag team the recaps this time.
Do we want to just give some general thoughts so far, before we go into spoiler territory, or
it's good? Watch it. That's basically all.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I like it more than the first 2 seasons combined. I think
Same.
the build up of getting the characters and all their random stuff is finally paying off.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's sick.
It's a lot. It seems more plot heavy, or it has more of a direction.
Yes.
In general, and I like that.
It's very funny, and I like that. And it's very
funny,
epic.
but it's what's the word? No, my brain's gone.
No,
Before we
brain,
start,
brain, come back.
Where'd it go?
What are the plugs?
Yeah, it's Coda. What are the plugs?
Sakota.
I mean, we have Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel, where you can support us and join our Discord server and our Minecraft server on the islands of Matanui and Voyanui, and maybe someday more to come. We have the TTV message boards at boards.ttvchannel.com, right?
Yes.
And we have Twitter at the TTV channel, as well as our individuals.
That's so epic. So what I'm hearing from this is that Sakota hosts MonkieCast.
All right.
Sakota for MonkieCast host. Justice for Sakota.
Yeah. Monkey takeover.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Being a fool.
Buy
some better memory. Buy it off Amazon. 2-day shipping.
Oh.
I'm joking. You good? All right.
One day I'll remember them.
One day. Let us begin.
Day.
What is the first episode we will be talking about?
First episode is called On the Run. It starts off us seeing what Monkey King was up to at the same time that MK and Lady Bone Demon were having their fight. Monkey King was fighting Neja, who's the new character, and they're
He
fighting
has
over
wheelies.
He does. Oh no.
Oh no.
What are they
they're
fighting over?
Sorry. They're fighting over the map to find
What is it to find?
yeah. Give me a second. To find the 3 rings of the Samashi fire.
There you go.
And they're fighting, it's saying stuff about, things and whatever.
You
And-
can't take the thing, but I want to take the thing, but you can't take the thing, etc.
something omelets. Anyway.
Omelets.
Yeah, omelets. So Monkey King gets the map, but he's too late because Lady Bone Demon got the staff. So then we see a basic summary of like the ending of season 2, explained by Tang. And then they start discussing this kind of the next plan, what they're gonna do next. Try and get the rings, find them, defeat Lady Bone Demon. But then Macaque appears in all his glory and just, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. They fight each other. They don't have the powers anymore, Monkey King and MK, so MK gets creative and just yeets something at the engine and completely destroys their,
Something omelets.
Yeah. And then they crash in the ocean, and that's the end of the first episode. That was a terrible recap.
You're okay. Very
I mean,
action-packed.
were you wrong though? That's pretty.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
accurate.
Rose taking a minute.
So, Neja,
Yes.
what's his deal?
Um.
Because I know you probably know more than I.
Yes. Well, do you mean like in terms of this season or in terms of
Like,
general?
sure. I mean, like,
In-
just mainly in general, because
Like in the mythology, or
all I gathered from the episode is that he is somebody who Sun Wukong once knew, who's protecting a thing.
To be entirely honest, I don't know that much about Neja. All I know is something about
Touche.
how he's often portrayed as like a 12-year-old, and that's like it. That's all I know about him.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. There's
Well-
probably other stuff I'm forgetting, but like that's the thing.
He was very cool.
Yes, he is very.
Yeah.
Voice acted very well by I
fight scene
believe
was
Johnny,
really good too.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Yes.
He did exceptionally well.
Yeah, it was very easy to pick up on that it was Johnny Young Bosch, if you know who he is, which was very hype. But I feel like I take a little issue with the script writing just a tiny bit, where he's like, no, don't, it could kill both of us, and he's like, oh, I know, but you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. But then he's like, that doesn't mean you should. I feel like they could have written a little better of a retort or something like that in that moment, but I don't know what would be better. I just thought it was like a little goofy writing, but I thought it was overall very cool scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird
Yeah.
situations where it's like two characters who know each other, but we don't know one of them, and they're fighting to protect a thing that we don't know about, and they're referring to history we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of feels a little exposition or a little like clunkily done, but I can't really think of a way to better do it either, except maybe not be so heavy-handed with it. But I thought it was fun.
Yeah, they also try to go for that thing where they basically like, oh, it's so dangerous, but they don't want to tell you why it's dangerous or any of that. So it kind of makes sense how they did it, I guess. But it seems a bit like weird dialogue in some cases.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it though.
Yeah,
Very
fight scene
cool.
was really cool. Yeah,
It was a good opening. to the season.
Oh
He's
yeah.
just zipping all around.
Yeah, it's just a really well animated fight scene as well. They do so good with like the action scenes in this show.
Yeah.
And
It was a
I
very
feel-
bold move to open with one, and I think
Yeah.
it worked in its favor.
To be
I think
honest, for some
Yeah.
reason I didn't make the connection that I was backtracking a few minutes before the end of season 2. Like I thought it was kind of like at the end of season 2, like Monkey King proposed this plan of what they're gonna do, and then he stole a map, but then I realized, wait, no, he stole the map and then showed up over there. Like for some reason I just didn't connect that it happened right before that moment.
It took
the end.
me a few minutes to realize that as well. Even though it is obvious, but just how it was framed, it was like, oh no, are they doing like a time jump thing? But no, they're not. It was good. I think that showing what he was up to is good. Showing the devastation was good. Showing the interesting dynamic, since they don't have powers anymore, was cool. And the fact that it kind of went from a fight into a brief bit of normalcy as we outlined the plan, and then immediately into another high octane fight and chase scene really worked in its benefit, I think.
Yeah.
Macaque being in pursuit of them was a cool way to say, like, okay, he's the villain, like, immediately smack dab into it, go, book it. Because there's really nothing any of them can do to him, except for May. Was the only one able to do pretty much anything, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of sidelined her a lot through the first
Yeah.
couple seasons. Like they introduced in the first season how she got the sword and stuff, and then they just kind of put it to the back. And then I feel like season 2 didn't really focus on anything that she had either. But, you know, like first real conflict in the season, and she's the only one that can actually do something. I thought that was really cool.
Based on that and the episodes that are to come, I think this is going to be season of the May, and I'm incredibly excited for it.
It's about time.
Yeah, I think I already said this when we had the initial season 1 episodes, and like the May episode basically had her whole arc in it, and after that they kind of sidelined her. But it's good that she has some more screen time and presence in these newer episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's basically all I got. I would rank it an action out of 10. Do you have any thoughts, AJ?
I mean, it's just like a good opening episode of like setting up, what's to come, and just establishing things quick. They're always good at like establishing stuff really quickly and in an interesting and engaging way. So it's like, they can always spend the other episodes focusing on like whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked this episode. I'm glad Macaque's back. Macaque's my favorite, so
I feel like he gets really randomly used up until this point. Like he just kind of shows up in the first season, he kind of comes back randomly in the second, and now he's kind of got like a third random appearance. But I like that this time it definitely has purpose to it. Like he's decided to pick whatever side looks stronger, and he's gonna go with
well,
the Lady Bone Demon.
We'll put a pin in that because I was feeling the exact same way, and I like seeing him, but I was kind of weirded out by his bigger narrative role. But it gets addressed. And, I have more to say on that later on.
I also like that, I guess, like, it starts off feeling very, like, despair. Like, oh no, MK doesn't have, like, anything now. He's borderline useless. But even if he didn't completely think the scenario through, that he still found a way to solve, like, beating Macaque on the ship, that he thought about, like, throwing the wrench into the engine, even if it was like very dangerous. He still figured out a way to like overcome the situation despite not having his powers.
A big brain, truly. The biggest of brains.
Oh, 5 shadowing. They're
They had to
definitely.
get rid of the old sets.
There you go. Clear those things off the shelves. On with the new.
They needed to get the macaque jet in there. That goofy looking thing. It looked like a reskin of Red Sun's Inferno jet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it overall, and I think we can move on to episode 2. Yeah.
No, I have more to say. No, I'm just kidding.
Tang was really funny in this episode too.
That's a
And
given.
the little downtown they have.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, wasn't he
his
like narrating the
or
diary? Yeah,
journal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like just Tang this season is like so good.
I love him. He's probably my favorite character if like pressed.
Yeah.
Oh no, second favorite. I forgot. She. All right.
Bruh.
Carry on.
Next.
Oh, okay. Episode 2. Let's see. So episode 2 is called Great Grand Dragon of the East. So, they're in the ocean. They're worried about, drowning, until May's uncle saves them and brings them to their little palace place. He's not happy about Monkey King because he's heard about Lady Bone Demon, but also because of past stuff.
Lore. Isn't this where he
Lore.
stole his staff from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh god, my brain.
They have to work
Yeah.
to like repair. Wasn't it?
No, it was so the May's uncle finds out that May is related to him because he didn't know at the time, and then he imprisons everyone else but May and takes the map, and Monkey King tells her to find this map because they need it. So she searches all over the palace for it, finds it, and confronts her uncle, and they get into this whole argument about trusting the Monkey King, and she ends up stealing the map, and just as she's about to leave, her uncle kind of reaches for her, and we see some spooky dooky little
Very
visuals.
spooky little flash.
Love those visuals. But then she leaves, meets up with Sandy, who is building this like new vehicle for them that is
But of course.
water adventure friendly, as he put it. And they save everyone else, and they leave just as Macaque appears, and May's uncle
Dies. Probably.
I mean implodes, and maybe he might actually be
Probably
dead.
Macaque looks like he like wrecked that place.
Yeah. Oh dear. So what do we think of this episode, and what's happened to Sakota?
Don't worry about it. It's related to the
Yeah.
chat.
Okay. I thought it was like a mic issue. Anyway,
No.
what did we think of this episode?
It was very cool. Again, this is just more kind of additional evidence to suggest like May focus, because okay, boom, we get family connection, we get some lore, we get some plot relevancy, we get some little vague teases of like visions or whatever that was, which I'm guessing will be relevant later. So I'm like, okay, front loading the season with May, I'm all for it. This episode I found way better than her prior episode as far as like dealing with her family lineage and family connections, mainly just because I think her uncle's cooler than her parents. Not that her parents weren't cool, but like, I don't know, I found them very like stereotypical, whereas his uncle, like, okay, he's got like prior conflict with Sun Wukong, which was cool to see. So they have like beef, and he was like very pissed, and he had like, I don't know, just well animated, over characterized emotions. I was like, this is cool. I like this guy.
Algorn, is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Algorn.
cannot pronounce that. Algorn?
Algwan.
Okay, I guess
Algorn.
I can. And then I don't know, just the bit where Macaque just strolls in at the very end and summons his giant creature thing and just pierces the whole location. That was a very cool, striking visual. And once
Yeah.
again, I think what's important about it is you're reminded there's no like dead time really. You have no time to get like complacent. It's like, yeah, Macaque is coming for them. He is not stopping. Be very afraid. And I think that's cool because of continuity and also just not letting things drag.
Yeah.
Even when they stay in one place for a little bit of time, they have to pretty much immediately dip out. So that was cool to see. I enjoyed that episode a lot.
Yeah, the continuity was really solid between the two episodes. Like, you know, the first one ends with them crashing, and then the second one they're like already like, you know, submerging down into the water. Like, usually, I mean, obviously with this kind of scenario, you can't have that happen. But in past seasons, it'd be like this one thing happens, and then they could have like a completely unrelated episode right after that. But no, this is straight into it. There's still like a connection to the first one. I did like that it built more of the May lore to it, but then also there's still that sense of urgency with Macaque like showing up. I thought very, very cool like execution.
Yeah. I thought the visuals of like the temple and the designs for all the dragon people were really cool.
That was important to mention. Yeah, the locale is
Yes.
very striking.
I really hope we get some sets based of those characters and that location because I really
Sure
like
we
those
will.
designs.
I really liked May's new outfit.
Yeah, we forgot about that. She
I
got
love
like
it
a new
so
outfit
much.
change and immediately stabbed it with her sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need that outfit in minifigure form though.
Me too.
I'm sure we'll probably get it. I'm sure we'll get like a summer wave with all the in between sets that weren't in the first one.
Hopefully.
One can dream.
Well, I like that May just like kind of made a sheath out of her dress, just like stabbing through the
Yeah.
skirt side of it.
I forget, what were the others doing? Did they have any scenes or were they pretty much
They were
absent?
they were like in jail, and Pixie was trying to break him out with a spoon.
Yeah, and Sandy
the
built the
spoon!
car.
I forgot about the spoon.
And then he got stabbed when the van came crashing in. And,
Yeah.
Rip
Poor
Pigsy.
Pigsy.
He's trying his best.
But it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
Also, in the one scene, I think we saw like the dragon blade of, I guess, the Eastern dragons. That was really
Oh.
cool that they have one too.
I wonder what will happen if both are linked. Probably not.
Or if May like double wields.
Oh. Oh, is there one for each direction? What if he had 4 arms and he had all 4 swords from each direction?
Like General Grievous. Bruh, May just like dual wields the swords and becomes like God mode. Instantly like one shots Lady Bone Demon.
Well, I mean,
Show
you
over.
say that now. Anybody want to take bets? No.
It would be pretty epic, but also move over Monkey Kid.
May
new
Kid.
Main character.
May is very powerful.
New main character.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, they should utilize May more. I don't care how OP she is. Like MK basically like got up to that point until his staff got taken away, or so we thought. But you know, spoilers for a later episode.
Yeah, it was cool. This was a good one.
Yes. I very much love this episode because it's about May. That's
True. I'm pretty sure May's probably been my favorite from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I just really love the her like design as well, like the colors they use for it, and just every kind of thing relating to like her family and stuff. Just it always looks so visually amazing.
Yeah,
You know?
they always do really well on May's like aesthetic and visuals and lore and all that stuff. They just haven't like used it enough yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to episode 3.
Episode 3. Oh, okay.
This freaking episode.
Episode. All right. Episode 3. Episode 3. So they're driving along in the little van across the desert. Monkey King is meditating, trying to get his powers back. You know, MK is kind of having a bit of a crisis because he doesn't have his powers anymore, and he's trying to find his new role in the group, which is being the smart one. Yeah. The van breaks down in the middle of the desert, and they meet the goldfish demon, who has this new engine. And he says, you know, if you beat me in this game, I'll give you the engine. So, what was the game? It was like
He has the turtle and he puts it in the
Monty.
bowl and then he like
Yeah.
moves the
Yeah.
bowls around and you have to figure out which one he's in.
Yeah, just that. So MK takes on the challenge and keeps losing and losing and eventually kind of bets away everything, including his friends.
He
He
gives up
I'm
all their
gonna sell
positions.
my friends into
Yes.
slavery.
He gives the power of friendship because nothing's greater than that.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And eventually, as he's doing this, one of his powers comes back. I can't remember the name of it, even though they've said it like 1,000 times.
Gold Vision, I think.
Gold Vision. That's it.
Vision.
And he realizes that the game is rigged. He's been cheating, and so he wins back all the stuff and the new engine and his friends, thankfully.
Base.
And yeah, that's this episode. That is.
I had a feeling it was exactly that. I was like, watch, he's probably just like slipping the turtle off the table, like at the end of it.
Yeah.
So, as you guys already know, I've seen these episodes like in the Chinese dub, and I watched this with like no context, and I knew everything that was happening from like the moment I saw the like visual of like the turtle. I was like, okay, I know where this is going. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just sit for like 6 minutes, not understanding what anyone was saying, and just kind of waiting for them to like get to the point.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's good in the sense that you like, you know what kind of episode it is, but it's also like bad if you don't like if you don't understand what the characters are saying, because like upon watching this episode a second time, I really enjoyed it just because of the jokes and the voice acting. But when I didn't have that, it felt
like it.
really boring. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very predictable for me too. Like as soon as they introduced like the game, you kind of know where it's going.
Yeah.
The way they resolve the conflict is also a bit cliche. I mean, they kind of like play with the idea that it's cliche, but
Yeah.
it's still cliche.
That's more or less my take as well.
And
I feel like
I don't think the plot point about him being the smart one really added too much, honestly.
I
because
think
feel
that that's a distraction. I think.
Yeah, they could have had the same plot without him deciding he's the smart one.
Then we wouldn't have had all those funny.
I mean,
Yes.
what I'm saying, what I'm saying though, is that like,
That's
yeah, the center joke of the episode is that he's trying to be big brain, and ultimately he's not big brain. But the actual message that the takeaway is that he actually is able to use his powers.
Yeah.
Because that's the breakthrough in the episode, is that he's slowly getting his powers back. Like, okay, whatever, he wasn't big brain, but he's realizing he didn't need the staff this whole time to use his powers. Like, it's kind of fillery of a plot, but at the same time, I think that makes it somewhat redeemable in the fact that there is an important takeaway for the episode by the end of it.
That's true.
I feel like they should have like hammered that in more, but they kind of do in the next episode.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
definitely more in
yeah,
that next
it works.
episode.
Continue in the-
It's not a bad episode or anything. It's just
It's just
some of
goofy.
the-
It's not the most
Yeah.
productive, but I think there's still beneficial things that come out of it. And I like at least that, like I was saying, like there's just solid continuity between each of the episodes. Like this scenario, yeah, I keep saying scenario, gosh dang. The situation comes from the fact that they left the underwater place and they came up here. So I mean, everything's directly connected, even if the situation or the story itself might be like a little disconnected or episodic in a way.
yeah. It also
Generally
introduced.
speaking,
Oh, yeah,
no,
go
you,
ahead.
you can go. It introduced.
It also introduced like the concept with like Monkey King having his meditation where he's basically
Yeah,
True.
he's
asleep.
just gone.
They did
Yeah.
set that up. Generally speaking, I feel that the thing with this episode is I would never say it's bad because I think it still has all the hallmarks of a good episode. It's very funny. It's very like well produced. It has a good visuals. All
Yeah.
of that has some very funny moments that I'm gonna make into gifs like of the calculations and stuff. But like you said, it's good. I think the issue is just that it's cliche. From the moment I saw the scenario, I was like, I know exactly where this is going. I know how this is going to play out. I know how this is going to end. I know the beats. So watching it kind of did feel like a drag at points, except for the comedy, which was very good.
Yeah.
That's not to say it's bad. It's just it's not one of their strongest, I don't think. And I will say the continuity being there is definitely a pro, because it does link up together and it does have a meaningful impact, so it's not filler. But I did find it a bit tonally dissonant, because it's like, okay, where do we leave off? Macaque is coming for us, and he's so powerful, nobody can stand up to him. And May's uncle just freaking died, probably, to hold him off, to give us some time. So now we have a whole episode where they bet their clothes in a game. And I'm like, well, even if it's like, I get that it's necessary, it's not frivolous, they're trying to get something, but it almost did feel a little like the stakes were a bit like imbalanced.
I
Yeah.
just can't imagine though that you would be able to continue making a season where everything's just so like dreary,
No, you're
especially
right.
for kids.
You're right. We
Yeah,
need like
we need,
some
like-
some downtime.
Need some like silly stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. Like I said before, it's like even if you know what the plot is, it's the enjoyment comes from like the jokes and the voice actors just kind of, being as great as they usually are. So it's still enjoyable. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, there's always things that you could improve or like the writers could think about the story as a whole when it comes to planning out each episode and the consistency of the stakes and how they should be feeling in that time and stuff like that. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad. It's just for me,
No.
it was just a little like off kilter.
Yeah.
For me, I just see it as like an improvement over their usual episodic formula where everything's generally disconnected with like some tiny through line at the very end of an episode or something like that. I just think that it has a good transition in and a good transition
true.
out.
You're right, and it
The
introduces
episodic- yeah.
concepts and powers. Yeah. Where are my boys, the gold and silver demons? That's all I'm saying. They could have easily taken the role of the goldfish.
Yeah, that's true. But the goldfish has a really cool design too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
really like his voice actor as well.
He was good. He was very good.
Yeah.
All right. Let us go on to the epic one.
The epic.
The epic one. Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's its title. Don't you know?
No. It isn't actually. All right. The last episode we'll be talking about today is the winning side.
The hidden side?
No.
No.
No,
Not now.
I'm not strong enough.
Okay, the winning side. So, the episode starts off with the gang. They're just packing up after, I'm presuming, having a little rest. Pigsy and Tang are like packing up the van and complaining about Monkey King. MK, Sandy, and May are off somewhere else. MK's trying to train and get his powers back, but it's not working. And so he's, still upset about that. We also learn some more about Macaque and why he's doing what he's doing, and his kind of affiliation with Lady Bone Demon, and like
What is the lore, AJ? Tell
the
us.
lore. So after Macaque was killed, Lady Bone Demon brought him back to life. If he helped her in taking over the world, and then he got given the key from the first season, and he just kind of discarded it and walked off. It's very funny. So that's why he got approached by the weird mayor character in season 2 to take him to Lady Bone Demon, and he was basically given one last chance to bring Monkey King and Monkey Kid and redeem himself, basically, or die.
Or you die.
So, the gang set off only to realize that something is wrong, and it is revealed that there are 2 copies of the van. Pigsy, Monkey King, and Tang are in one. Sandy May and MK are in another.
It's so cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's really well executed.
It is. Macaque appears and, separates MK from his friends and taunts him, because he doesn't have any powers. And is about to, take him before May comes in with epic dragon powers. And, his friends try to save him from Macaque until Macaque builds like a giant Lego set. I mean, mech.
Builds a giant Lego set.
And, he overpowers his friends, and this is enough for MK to get his powers back and just, completely destroy him and just shoot right into his eye, and they fly off. And that's kind of the end of the episode.
Freaking cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
My God, it was cool. That episode was awesome.
It was
And not just because of the scene with Lady Bone Demon, but mostly because of that scene. It was a really freaking cool scene.
Yeah.
They had like the new design and her being all like ominous and spooky and like showing off her power and the glowing eyes and like the force field aura, and then the flashback that was so freaking cool and well illustrated.
Oh yeah.
And the lore, the connecting of the dots, and suddenly I understand the freaking key, which always weirded me out. I was like, "What's up with that?"
I really like this episode because like within the Monkey Kid like community, there's always been this joke of like, how is Macaque still here? Didn't he die? And like, didn't Wukong like kill him? And now we have an explanation for it, which is nice. This is, I suppose, the explanation that's been given as to why he's here. When he's dead in the original tales.
And it also explains why he is just kind of like bumming around, showing up occasionally.
Yeah.
He's disregarding the task he was supposed to have, and he's only doing things like he went after Monkey Kid because he was like probably curious about like who he was and what he was about and wanted the power, but he doesn't like have a vested interest in taking over the world. He just kind of wants to like screw over Sun Wukong.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
and then in season 2, he just
what's...
pops up basically just to troll. Like he's like, I was gonna do stuff, but you're already like feeling bad, so I'm just gonna screw with you for fun. It's like I like that.
I mean, I think he was also like testing which is the side he will side with, basically, and see how powerful MK and Monkey King are.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. I mean, I feel like that's happened every time that he's crossed paths with them. Is that it seems like he's trying to bait them to be stronger in some way. Every single time so far that they've shown up, but like the way that this ended definitely seemed like Macaque was letting them off the hook. He just kind of like let himself be defeated in the end, and he's like, things just got interesting.
There is a theory I'm seeing in the
That's-
chat from Willis12 says Macaque is totally trying to help MK regain his powers, and that would be interesting.
Yeah,
I could very much see that because it comes across very well that he isn't a fan of the Lady Bone Demon either.
Mm.
So I could totally see that he's trying either to help the Monkey King or playing both sides so they'll destroy each other.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I'm sure if he wants to beat them, he's not gonna just beat them at their weakest. Because, I mean, if he had really tried, like in episode 1, he probably would have won that fight.
That is true.
He could have probably
Yeah.
won whenever he felt like it, but so far he's chosen not to.
He's very interesting, and I enjoyed seeing more of his lore and like some different
Yeah.
shades of him get fleshed out.
Shades.
Mm.
Shades. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because Lady Bone Demon and the Mayor were here, and they were sick. Like, her voice actress is on point. She's so freaking good. They all are.
Yes.
But like,
Yeah.
I need to find out like what other stuff she's been in because she does a killer job.
I have a question. Is the
Half
area
the intimidation
Oh.
is her voice actress. Go on.
is the area like the Lady Bone Demon was in, like where the city was in season 1, or is that like just a different area? Because it looks like pretty much everything is gone.
It's the implication I got was that it's the city. But I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
mistaken.
They never
Ugh.
really say. So we don't know, but it's probably what it is.
Don't mind me. I'm just posting funny mayor screenshots.
The mayor's so weird.
He's epic. I love him. Oh my
He's
goodness.
a funny little guy.
Anyway, I guess there's other episodes to talk about, but like that was the standout for me. The entire premise of the splitting, so cool, so creepy, so creative, so
Yeah.
unsettling. A plus 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 plus. The visual effects, how they demonstrated everything, exceedingly well done. Macaque, just the way he uses his abilities is very clever.
Yeah.
I always enjoy watching him just do things because I know it's going to be a visual spectacle. Not to mention how he made the mech was also very cool. Kind of using the destroyed parts of the van to like make his mech kind of as a shell around his shadow spirit.
Yeah.
No, I need to see because I don't have a good handy picture of the van at hand. I'm skimming the episode, but I'd be curious to see if the parts line up, like even remotely. Probably
I
not
doubt it.
exactly, but like I'm
Yeah.
thinking specifically of the spike around his wrist. I'm trying to think of what that could be on the van. Maybe the red thing on top, like the umbrella. No, that doesn't really work out. Whatever. That might be asking for too much. It's just
I was-
metal that forms.
I was really surprised at the mech, like in general, because when we got the set pictures, I thought it's just gonna be like a huge version of Macaque because like
Right?
he can change his size. But
I
no,
was
it was
impressed.
actually a mech. Yeah.
It was actually a mech. There was actually a reason for it to be like vaguely robotic because it was made out of metal. They did it. It looks accurate to the set, more or less.
Yeah, that thing
you would
was
say.
nuts.
I was impressed because I remember saying like the mech did not impress me because I was like it doesn't really look like what I think it should. It's weirdly asymmetrical, which I mean it still is asymmetrical, but The vehicle had some red on it. It's fine. I can buy it. Generally well done. And then it gets absolutely destroyed. And that was also funny. Yeah. It was a good moment for MK. It was a good moment for Macaque. It was a good moment for him to realize that his power doesn't, I mean, I guess he already kind of realized it last episode, but getting some more of the powers back, doing things, becoming more proficient without the staff. I love that for a lot of reasons. Now, I'm not familiar with Journey to the West lore, so I'm not really that knowledgeable about the staff and like what it does and why it does it, but like on a basic premise for the kind of show this is, I greatly appreciate that his ability to do things is not tied to an object, because it makes him feel like he has more agency over the plot.
Well, because Monkey King's powers never came from the staff.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. They came from him like doing a bunch of training and studying and stuff.
Well, that's epic.
I think it's just it's a good trope.
Peaches.
I think it gets used pretty well in a lot of stories, that just like the power doesn't come from your crutch object that you've been relying on the whole time.
I mean, you're right. It's not a revolutionary idea, but it makes me happy because I thought it was one thing and then I get the other.
Yeah.
Like, cool. I appreciate that.
That's always good.
I'm a little bit not a fan of the idea that they kind of like they reset his powers and now he has to relearn them and basically have similar lessons like in season 2. But so far it's been executed well, so I don't really mind too much. Yeah.
Agreed. I think it's been handled very well and like very like cool, tense moments that he didn't quite get on the same level in the previous seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was epic. Like, I don't know what else to say.
It was epic.
It was epic. It's probably in my top 3 or top 4. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Do you have any thoughts on what's coming next? Do you think?
Honestly, for me, it's a pretty open canvas. Like, the way that they've handled it, where it's like, mostly episodic, but it's been connected. Like, anything could really just happen at this point with the show, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah.
The only things I could guess would be foundational knowledge stemming from the set pictures.
Okay.
So I have a basic kind of rudimentary outline of where they're going to go.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to see a big wheel. At some point, we're going to see a carrot thing. At some point...
yeah, I remember some of these sets now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can kind of be like, all right, I know basically what we're getting. At some point, we're going to space, stuff like that. Now, one thing I'm questioning, and this is just the fanboy in me, but it's also a practical question, is the set. And I don't know why I'm asking you. Like, don't tell me, AJ, because you know. But like, I hope this isn't the last we see of Lady Bone Demon in the season, notably because she's in one of the sets with the rest of them. And I don't want to knock them for set inaccuracy. But yeah, I need to see her facing off against Big Wheel. That would make my day.
Yeah, now that you remind me of the sets, like, I think we're gonna get less I think MK's probably done with his, like, or mostly done with his get his powers back kind of arc that's going on. I feel like it's definitely gonna be a lot more high stakes, like, tense. They got more, like, they're actually going to be using their powers more fully kind of thing from this point on. But I could be wrong. I just hope I'm not.
Yeah, like, I assume that they're probably gonna get in the fetch quest aspect now, like in the upcoming episodes, because they still haven't found any of the fire rings. So that has to happen sometime.
That's probably where, like, a lot of the levity is going to come from too, because it's going to be like disconnected adventures in specific places that will have a lot of comedy and character interactions, but not be filler because they're working towards the goal.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm looking for.
And yeah, I mean, hopefully there's no, like, more power alerting really along the way. Like, he should be close to where he was at just now without the staff, I think. So I hope they're just a lot of competent fighting up until like the end.
There you go.
Woo.
Very epic.
So
Very
epic.
Right. Well then. I guess
Pretty
this
much all, I
is-
think.
So
How do you feel about the season so far, AJ?
I mean,
And in
I'm-
general, but I guess so
yeah.
far, so as to not tip your hand.
I'm enjoying it. It's it's these episodes. I'm enjoying watching them in the English dub, but I'm more excited for the stuff to come.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna be good.
Gonna be good. Alright.
Okay, well then. Guess we're gonna do plugs.
You should try them now. It's not hard. Just try.
Um, we have a Patreon, and you can give us money and join Discord server and talk to people about things and stuff. That's cool. You can
Discuss on.
TTV
The-
message box.
There you go. At
Yeah.
board.ttvchannel.com.
Yeah, you talk about stuff there, and that's
You can
Yeah.
get updates on.
Twitter.
There you go. Twitter.com/TTV channel.
Twitter was not one of them. There was the server as well. If you join the Discord server, you can become a part of the Minecraft server, and what is it, Biocraft? I don't know. I don't know.
You would be correct.
Yeah. No, I've given up.
I've given up.
No,
That's alright.
I'm mad. I did I did it alright last time, and then it's been a while, and I'm just the brain's
It's been a while.
So how are we gonna do this with 10 episodes? Are we gonna do another one when we get the next
yeah.
like 4, and then do one for the last 2 plus a roundup?
Yeah, we'll do like
Sounds
the
good.
yeah. So the next MonkieCast won't be this week. It'll be like the week after, when we get 4 new episodes, and then when the last 2 air, we'll do a podcast for those, and then just talk about the season and predictions for whatever comes next.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's epic.
I
Yeah.
guess I feel
That's,
mildly shocked now, realizing there wasn't a special before this.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
But I
But
mean,
sure will.
if it was, it would just be the same plot in the special. So I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
They might
Yeah,
move
it
the
kind of
special
wouldn't
to,
have.
like,
It wouldn't have really worked to have a special in there. I think.
Yeah. Just
Like,
make
what's the
it the
last
finale instead.
yeah.
That would be
I think-
cool.
I guess because it's like the last 2 specials were like setting up for the season, but like if you can fit the setup in an episode, there's no point putting it in a special.
Yeah. They've done a good job so far.
Yeah. Alright,
Anyways.
well, that is the end of the podcast. I hope you have enjoyed me fumbling over my words every 20 seconds and screwing up the plugs. I am AJ,
I am Messa.
I'm Envy.
And I'm Sakota.
and this has been MonkieCast. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Rip in chat,
Bye.
rip at YouTube chat where a guy just said "what's up" as we're ending it, but
Oh no, I'm
No.
so sorry.
wah wah wah.
Figure it out.